and welcome to Jefferson Farm and Garden. We are a facility through the University of Missouri-Columbia and the College of Agriculture, Food, and Natural Resources. At Jefferson, we are working to figure out how to sustainably use water and our natural resources to make the world a better place. Welcome to Jefferson, and we're so glad to have you.
My name is Tim Reinbach. I'm the Assistant Director of the Missouri Agriculture Experiment Station. That means I have responsibilities of all the research centers across the state, and South Farm is one of those, and more importantly, Jefferson Farm is our education showplace. We're really trying to be an education center for everybody. And we're at a beautiful location where we have lots of rolling hills, we have a lake, and pumpkins are a big part of what we do, because who doesn't like pumpkins? We do tomatoes and peppers. I love tomatoes and peppers. And we have about 101 varieties of tomatoes. Sunflowers are a big part of what we do too, right? So we have lots of different things going on. Plus we have some research. And we always welcome research that we can spin off for educational events. For the most part, South Farm is research. You know, we're close to campus. We have some of the most basic animal science research here. We have a Doppler tower over here. So our atmospheric science folks are using this, the research Doppler tower. This isn't like the one they use at the local weather station. This is much more accurate. So this is how they're studying weather patterns. If you're interested in technology, if technology really gets you excited, you know, realize there's more technology in this phone than there was when we went to the moon in the late 60s. If technology interests you, you know where the best place to be is? Agriculture. Because this is where we're using it to produce better food, more sustainably, and more economically. So that's where it is. And think about sustainability. If you're interested in the environment, where else can you make a difference at as in agriculture? So agriculture, it takes in so many different disciplines and puts them all together, and they're all interrelated.
I'm Noel Aloysius, Assistant Professor of Bioengineering and Natural Resources. I teach at the university courses related to water and natural resources management. I also advise about 6 to 8 students. The research that we do here are related to agriculture, water and natural resources management. So this is a well fenced, secured facility. So you could actually have more sophisticated, expensive instruments out in the field and don't have to worry about vandalism or anything. The other advantage, particularly at this time, where I cannot allow students to travel to their field sites and do their research. Rather, they were able to figure out, for example, setting up an instrument. How do I do it? So they come here, they set it up, figure out all the problems that they encounter, make sure they work right, and then they can plan when they want to deploy at the research site. So anyone who wants to conduct research are allowed to do it here. So I could ask students to go on their own and try to set up an instrument, or they can plan their own research and then say, you know, this is what I want to do, can I do it here? The level of research and capabilities varies whether you are an undergraduate or graduate students or a postdoctoral researcher. And your research goals also vary, right?
Hi, my name is Balor. I'm a master's student in water resources studying at School of Natural Resources, and I came from Mongolia and I'm a Fulbright scholar. So here I'm doing my research on Mongolia's water resources availability, and I'm using weather stations data of Mongolia, but it's far away from here. So the instruments installed here in Jefferson Farm helps me to really understand where my data sources are coming from and how the different weather parameters are monitored and measured. So it helps me to gain more experience on field. Just install the soil moistures, so we can detect soil moisture at 3 different levels, and by putting different amount of water we can monitor soil moisture for the crops, and then we can analyze data to develop the most convenient water consumption. Previously, I didn't have any experience with these kind of instruments like piezometers, soil moisture, and weather stations. But now I can know what those instruments are look like, and also I can gain experience how to install and then how to monitor. So this gives me a lot of field experience from the beginning to the end.
My name is Veronica Fritz. I'm a biological engineer and a math major. I am the undergraduate assistant for Taksha, the graduate student who's working on her PhD project here. As an undergraduate, I feel like I'm learning a lot just about working with different kinds of equipment, learning new names. I didn't know what a scintillometer was before I came here. And I guess getting to work with other instruments that I learn about in a textbook, but I don't get to see what their actual usefulness to a study or project is. This is my first time using a piezometer, which is just a fancy barometer, but I learned about it in fluids, and then the next day we put it in the ground, and I was like, oh, I see how this is beneficial. Working at Jefferson Farm and Garden, and it really makes me feel more motivated to be a better student, because I want to continue to be able to do research like this in my future, and I think this is a good starting place for me.
My name is Jin Zhou. I'm a PhD candidate in MU Precision and Automated Agriculture Lab. Here in Jefferson Farm, we use our drones to measure the reflectance of those vegetations and waters under different environmental conditions and compare our drone-based measurements with other sensors. I think that's a very good opportunity for us to validate our drone measurements, and it will help in our research later for other crop measurements. Jefferson Farm has lots of different vegetations like the grass and corns and some other vegetables, tomatoes, and there's a big water spot there. So it help us to add some variance. It helps us to quantify and validate our models, which can be used further for other measurements. So I think that's a very good point with Jefferson Farm. It's comfortable here because we don't have very tall trees here, and we don't have we have some power line, but it's okay. It's in the middle of the farm, but you want to interface with the drone flight path, and there's a very big open spot here for us to set up drones, prepare for our data collection, which is good. And there are research facility over there.
Hi, I'm Chinny Wong. I'm a grad student from the Agricultural System Management. So my main project was using the unmanned aerial vehicle, or in short we call it UAV, or many people just call it drone image, and mainly on the precision agriculture. So this technology is currently not like the super new technology, but still considered quite new, like in this recent year. So I think the favorite part will be like when you're controlling the drone, you're kind of like controlling a game sometimes. but definitely from the research perspective, I think this is something that will be keep going. Like there will be more and more people using this technology. Yeah. Well, first, this is really like a pretty place. Like we have a lot of vegetation, plantation. Like we have vegetables, flowers, or like some like grasses, and even a beautiful lake just at my back.
Hi, I'm Bahira Hartranft. I'm a senior studying biological engineering at Mizzou, and I'll be starting my master's program in biological engineering. In the past several decades, we've really amped up our agricultural output and we can make a lot of food, but we've lost our environmental conservation a bit along the way. So I'm really hoping to incorporate new findings and technologies that have to do with sustainable agriculture so that we can feed people and feed people nutritious food, but also take care of the earth while we're doing it. So to come out here and use the equipment, take measurements, create models, it gives you a lot more experience. And as an engineer, when I enter the workforce, I can tell employers I've actually been out in the field and used this equipment and I know how it works.
Hi, my name is Andrew Williams. I'm a master's student here at the University of Missouri. I'm earning a degree in natural resource management with an emphasis in water. A lot of research that we do touches on different aspects of the water cycle that has applications for growing food to meet the growing demand of the world population, engineering, and then meteorology, check weather. Last year during the summer of 2019, I had approximately 20 research plots. It was my first time experimenting with a drip irrigation system. If you're, say, over in Africa, Southeast Asia, or even here in the Midwest, you can grow a lot in a very small and enclosed space. Out here at Jefferson Farm, we've had a lot of opportunities to work with equipment that I never would have dreamed of during my undergrad years. This is one of our 2 weather stations that we're practicing out here out at Jefferson Farms. We're going to have about 2 weeks of data collection to test out all the equipment, and then we're going to go install it potentially at my project site down in southeast Missouri. It's at the state park called Big Oak Tree. So Big Oak Tree State Park is about a 6-hour drive from here in Columbia. It's a lot more convenient to just drive 5 minutes from my house, practice setting up equipment here for a dry run, and then later transporting it down to the project site once we know everything works. Yeah, a lot of great experiences that I get working out here that I never got while in my undergraduate years.
I would encourage all students to explore, come out and see. There's no restrictions. It's open to all students, faculty, and anyone interested in doing research here.
Thank you so much for taking the time to learn about our amazing facility here at Jefferson. We are so grateful for everything that the University of Missouri does to support us and our research. If you're interested in getting involved here at Jefferson, please feel free to reach out to any one of the people that you've seen in this video. We would love to have you. Remember, MIZ!